Your team sucks.
Live.
What's up, everybody? What's happening, Mr. Jordan? How are you doing?
I'm here, hanging out, waiting for another week of football. We got fantasy football playoffs starting this week, so that's pretty exciting for those of you who don't have the bye like me. I was prepared to talk tons of shit, but George didn't come on today, so can't talk that much shit to him.
Well, right? I mean, where's George? George is in cowboy hell.
He guaranteed us a victory. He's got to be a little embarrassed.
I mean, George, and I hate to talk about you, George, while you're not here.
I don't mind.
But what happened to that big upset? What happened to the big upset, Jordan? I don't think it happened. Right?
Well, you and I called that that run defense wasn't good enough to stop them.
Yeah, no, they were pretty terrible. The Cowboys, newsflash, they suck.
Your team sucks.
Really bad. And so what can you do about it? I don't know what to do. But anyway, we're going to make some picks here. Just me and Jordan. It's just me and Captain, motherfucking caveman here. He's just chilling out. And, I have to say, Jordan quit smoking. They started smoking again today. I'm highly disappointed, Jordan.
Me too.
I'm terribly disappointed in you.
Me too.
I mean, so everybody needs to encourage Jordan to quit smoking. Just put something in the chat. I mean, Jordan is very bad for your skin. You already look like Captain Caveman who needs a tan really bad. And then you put nicotine into that equation and you get Shrek, Love, Man, Caveman.
Look like the suntan Superman. Look at me.
Suntan Superman. All right. So, like we do every Thursday, we're going to pick our games up against the number. First game we have is the New England Patriots versus the Los Angeles Rams. The Patriots are getting 4.5 points in Los Angeles. Jordan, what do you got here?
This is a good game. We saw a really good showing from the Patriots last week, but I think I called that they're really good against rookie quarterbacks. Goff is not, but Goff hasn't really been having his best year either. I think I would take the Patriots in this one.
Yeah, this is an interesting game because you really don't know what the Patriots are. I mean, this is the first time in a long time where the Patriots are kind of a mystery. They get beat by bad football teams, and then they come in and they, even the Chargers are a decent football team, and they just beat the living crap out of them. So I think I would agree with you on this one, and I would take the Patriots. And, we're getting closer and closer because of COVID to having football every night.
Awesome.
This is a Thursday night game. It's one of the few positives that have come out of COVID that we get to watch football every night. So what do we got next here? We got looks like the Tennessee Titans that are giving 7.5 points to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I love the Titans in this game. They're going to be upset. They got absolutely hammered last week, and they're going to be pissed off, and I think they take care of Jacksonville in a pretty big way here. Jordan?
I agree. I like this to be an absolute blowout by Tennessee. Tennessee's a good team, although I do think that they showed a script on how to beat Tennessee, which is the Titans do not have a very good secondary. They are vulnerable to teams that can throw on them. And we saw that last week. Hopefully they tighten that up a little bit. Their run defense is quite good, and hopefully they can get their runs going. Jacksonville is not a very good team this year.
They're pretty bad, and it just goes to show how the NFL is a week-to-week league, because I remember week 1, week 2, everybody thought, oh, here's Minshew, he's going to be great, and now look at where they are. The first 4 games of the season this year were the preseason, and basically come out of that. Yeah, so then you have the Dallas Cowboys coming off a huge upset. Psych, no, they're coming off a huge loss. Because I'm sorry, newsflash, the Cowboys suck. The Bengals are coming off the brawl with the Miami Dolphins, and the Bengals are scrappy. It's a scrappy team, just like the Dolphins. They play for their coach. I do think this is going to be probably a pretty good game, but I'm going to have to say here that I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But if I'm going to play this game, I'm going to play the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys probably pull this one off somehow. Jordan?
See, if I were going to play this game, and I would also stay away from it because with neither of these teams, you know what you're getting. But you said it. The Bengals play with a lot of heart. You saw that they were in there fighting for a team that's been losing a lot, who lost their quarterback. It's good to see. And Cowboys, Bengals, I think the only value in this one is play the dog on the money line, because you never know what can happen, right?
Yeah, that's a smart idea. Yeah, I get that. All right. We got the Houston Texans that are -2 going to the Bears. They're giving Bears 2 points. I don't touch this game. No, I think that the Texans are playing much, much better than they were. And I think that I would, if I was to play this, I'd probably take the Texans. The Bears, the Bears have no heart, man. I mean, every time I watch them, at the beginning of the season, this defense was supposed to be an elite defense in this league, and then all of a sudden, where the hell are they? Where's this elite Bears defense? Did they quit? This coach is done at the end of the year. I think the Texans probably pull this game off. Jordan?
Yeah, I do like the Texans here. I like them quite a bit. The Bears have been in free fall. It's ugly. They didn't have a single win in November. It hasn't been pretty. Texan, they just lost to the Lions, which was a big one. Scored a lot of points there. Their defense did not look good. What happened to Houston's wide receiver core, though? You got Kiki Kuti being fantasy relevant. I don't know.
What's his name again?
Kiki Kuti.
Kiki Kuti. Wow.
There was some buzz about him a couple of years ago in fantasy, but he was buried behind Hopkins and Will Fuller and Kenny Stills, who are none of which are on the roster right now. And so you got little Kiki Kuti out of the slot.
All right, say that 5 times real fast. Go.
Kiki Kuti out of the slot. And if you're looking for a fantasy wide receiver to pick up who's probably going to get you good points, I love Watson. He gets his guys the ball. Kuti's very sure-handed, especially expect a lot of targets, and he's not owned in most leagues. That could be a fantasy winner for you right there.
It's been a while since I can say this, but you have a marquee matchup now. You have a game that is very meaningful. It's going to be played in Miami in December. Dolphins versus Chiefs. The Dolphins are getting 7 points, and I think that's probably about right. But this is going to be an interesting game. I would not play this game because you just don't know what you're going to get from the Dolphins. You know exactly what you're going to get from the Chiefs, but I would not, and I'm a huge Dolphin fan, and this is not a homer statement, but don't be surprised if Brian Flores has been keeping something in his back pocket for the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't be surprised if you see, them play much better on defense against the Chiefs than a lot of people think. Now, with that said, that's a possibility. I don't think the Dolphins win this game. I think they probably lose it by 7 or more, but I don't touch it because I don't know what to expect from Tua in this game, and I don't expect what you're going to see from the Dolphins defense as far as scheme goes. Dolphins have 2 great cornerbacks, Xavier Howard. It's going to be real interesting to see if they, who they take away and who they man up. Who do they double, and who do they, basically go one-on-one with, and we'll see. Jordan, your take.
This is where I like the Dolphins, okay? They just struggled a little bit against the Bengals. It was closer than it should have been. They should have won their last 3 games. They did not. I don't like the Dolphins as a favorite. They tend to drop some of those and not dominate the way they should. I like them as the dog. Nobody gives them a chance. They're coming in, and they could steal this one. So that I'm not playing this game, but I'll be pulling for the Dolphins. I like them at home and the possibility of stealing it.
Yeah, it would be a pretty huge upset. And, the way the Buffalo Bills are playing right now, this is pretty much a must win. Unless, you do have the Bills that are playing the Steelers, but the Steelers are not playing great football right now, and the Bills are. So the Dolphins really, this is, if they want any shot at the division, they're going to have to probably win this game. So we'll see what happens. I'll be watching this one. Absolutely. Minnesota Vikings at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Vikings are getting 6.5 points here. Tampa's defense needs to step up. We haven't seen what we thought we would see. I think, Jordan, you would agree with that. The Bucs are loaded with talent, but they have not had the chemistry needed to go deep into the playoffs and to win a championship. Chemistry is very important to winning championships. It's the most important thing, in my opinion. I don't believe that Tom Brady has jived with his new head coach just yet, and he doesn't have a lot of time. With all that said, I think they beat the Vikings, but I don't think they beat them by much. And I don't touch this game. But if I'm playing it, I probably play Minnesota.
The point spread's about right. I actually love the Bucs here. I'm not worried about the 6.5. The Bucs defense, the strength of it is that front seven. Now there was a couple injuries there, but they're really strong. I don't like the Vikings' ability to beat Tom Brady in a shootout, even though Justin Jefferson has come on. He's looked fantastic. I would give this to Tampa Bay all day long. This is a must-win game for Tampa Bay, who's not out of it yet.
Yep. You got the Colts. This is a good game right here. You got the Colts versus the very unpredictable up and down of their competition, Las Vegas Raiders. I wouldn't touch this one either, but I do like the Colts here. I think the Colts are just a more consistent football team, and I know that they got rolled by the Tennessee Titans, and I know the Las Vegas Raiders should have gotten beat by the Jets, which is unbelievable. But you know what? It's still the NFL, and the Jets are still an NFL team. But elite teams don't go toe-to-toe with the Jets. So the Raiders, in my opinion, are not an elite team yet. I think the Colts are closer to being elite than the Las Vegas Raiders. I like the Colts in this matchup. Jordan?
I like the emergence of Henry Ruggs on the Raiders, but yes, I also like the Colts too. Colts had the number one defense for a long time. I think they can shut down the Raiders quite well. I would take the Colts. I'm not worried about the points.
All right. Then we have the lowly, pathetic, suck-ass, one of the worst teams in the history of the NFL, worst coach, fired defensive coordinator, worst ownership, suckiest team in the history of football, New York Jets. Thank you, Jet fans, for that. One of my happiest days as a Miami Dolphin fan was the day the Jets hired Adam Gase. I pretty much knew what they were getting. And you had Adam Gase, who had a lot of talent in Miami, who was basically a 500 coach and sub 500 when he got fired. He's now the coach of a team that is not loaded with talent, and he's not a great coach, and he's not a great leader, and they haven't won one football game, not one. So, I mean, they have played much better because their pride has come to the surface. And, when you're losing all the time, you're like a cornered dog. I mean, you're going to play hard to just get your ego and your pride back. I mean, imagine losing every week for 13 weeks in a row. Every week. That's got to mess with your psyche. With all of that said, the Seattle Seahawks lost to the New York Giants last week, and they are going to beat the crap out of the New York Jets. They're going to thump the Jets pretty hard. Will it be by 13.5 points? I have no idea. I don't touch this game. Jordan?
That was a lot to come up with not touching this game.
Any chance I get to bash the Jets? Come on. I mean, it's the Jets have. I can't recall when the Jets have ever been about to be 0-14. So I mean, let me enjoy myself, Jordan. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, it's bad. Giants just got beat by the Seahawks. It did not look good. It did not look good at all. That the Seahawks just got beat by the Giants. That Giants defense is good though. much better than the Jets. Jets looked good against the Raiders, but they lost. I'm not playing it either. It's too many points. It's too unpredictable. Who knows what you're going to get out of those guys?
The Washington team without a name, or their name's the football team, if that's a name, versus the very disappointing San Francisco 49ers, who got their asses handed to them by the Buffalo Bills. The Niners, I'm pretty sure that was a blow to them. And so you have a team that is now playing pretty good football against the Niners. I actually love the half point here, and I love the Washington football team because of the half point. I would play them here. Jordan?
I love the Washington football team here as well. I think they realize that they're not out of the playoffs. They're playing hard. That defense is good. Chase Young is having a great year. Defensive MVP right there. They're playing for their coach. They got a great coach. I mean, I like him. I like what they're doing there. I called that they were going to beat the Steelers. Love that. And I love the Washington here too.
You may have called it, but did you bet the money line on it?
I didn't bet the money line. I told somebody to, and they did.
Yeah.
And they did. So,
proverbial, you not putting your money where your mouth is.
$15 to win 53 on the Washington money line.
There you go. All right, we got the Saints versus Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Right, we have, this is really interesting because obviously Drew Brees is not playing in this game. Do the Philadelphia Eagles get the spark they need to actually win this game? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say absolutely they're not going to have enough spark from Jalen Hurts. That New Orleans defense is playing some of the best football in the NFL right now. And I think the Saints absolutely probably destroy Jalen Hurts, a rookie quarterback playing on a team that doesn't play very hard and it's just not very good. They're a bad football team. But yeah, I would play the Saints here. Jordan?
I would also play the Saints here, although I'm interested to see what Jalen Hurts has. I'm really interested if you got player props in Zach Ertz. He should be fully healthy. He did play last week. He should be fully healthy this week, and I like the rookie quarterback to sling it to him over and over and over again. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. And then there's the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions
looked good last week.
Yeah, that's the interim coach thing. When you put the interim coach in, you're usually good for 1 or 2 weeks. But you know who's really, really good, Jordan? Aaron Rodgers. He's really good. Aaron Jones is really good, too. The Green Bay Packers, if their defense can play a little bit better, will be a Super Bowl contender. Are they? In your opinion, maybe, but their defense has got to play better. In my opinion, to really be a contender, that you're taking them serious to go and win a Super Bowl.
See, even if their defense doesn't play better, Rodgers can throw with the best of them. He can put up 40 points, so he can win in a shootout if they have to, and they have the pieces for the defense to play better. So I think they will get better. I love the Packers here.
Yeah, I like the Packers here too. I would play this game as well. All right, then we got the Falcons. These teams actually are mirror images of each other. They both figure out ways to lose games on a consistent basis, and somebody's got to win, Jordan. Somebody's got to actually win this game, right? And let's say it could be a tie, I suppose. You could probably play a prop for them to tie. Stranger things have happened. But I don't touch this game at all because I have no idea what I'm gonna get from either one of these teams. Though the Falcons are playing much better. The Chargers have an excellent young quarterback that got schooled last week by Bill Belichick. I don't touch this game. Jordan?
I really like the Falcons here. They're playing much better. They got all their pieces coming on. Matt Ryan's coming on. Give me the Falcons all day long here.
All day long. All right, this is a great one right here.
The game right here.
Pittsburgh Steelers. The one-game loss, no longer undefeated, no longer holding the bottle in the refrigerator of champagne for the Miami Dolphins. That's over. That's history. The Dolphins are still the only undefeated team in the history of the NFL, playing the red hot Josh Allen led Buffalo Bills. Now, the Bills are really good. They're scary good, ladies and gentlemen. They're getting better. Josh Allen is throwing darts. He can move almost to the same level of Patrick Mahomes. He's starting to look a lot like Patrick Mahomes, which is scary. Um, I like the Buffalo Bills here. I like the Bills to win this game. I know the Steelers are going to be upset, but the Steelers have not looked good in 3 weeks. And the Bills have looked great. So I'm going with the hot team here, that they're going to stay hot. And I would play this game, and I would take the Bills.
Jordan? Can we say that maybe the Steelers lost last week because they were looking ahead to the Buffalo Bills and preparing for this game?
What happened the week before that?
Washington?
What happened the week before that? They didn't play well at all.
It was just a question. Anyway, it's interesting enough. This should be a really good game, and I do like the Bills at home here.
That's it? That's all you got to say. That's it.
Love it.
Another good ball game. Now, this is interesting because it's been a while that anybody that does shows like this has talked about the Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens, and anybody who's serious or about football and understands football knows that this, for the first time in a long time, I would probably take the Cleveland Browns. And I haven't said that in a long time. And the reason is because I like the coach. He's proven himself. They've learned how to win football games. They can run the ball. They're running play action now. Will I believe Baker Mayfield is not going to have 4 touchdowns and look like Dan Marino like he did last week? They'll go smash mouth against the Ravens. They know the Ravens well, and I think they actually pull this one off. Do I lay a bet on it? No, I don't touch it. But I watch it, and I enjoy it thoroughly because I'm a Jarvis Landry fan. And, I like the Cleveland Browns fan base. I like the dog pound, man. It's good to see the dog pound getting some love now and their team doing something positive. Don't forget, Jordan. The Baltimore Ravens used to be the Cleveland Browns, right?
Right.
That team that won 2 Super Bowls was the team that was in Cleveland, right? And they were the Cleveland Browns and they left. And I think everybody needs to remember that, because I would be motivated if I'm a Cleveland Brown player from their fan base saying, look, those guys left us. We have a chance now to beat them and probably really hurt their chances of getting into the playoffs. And Cleveland has a chance to solidify, get really close to getting in the playoffs themselves. So I like Cleveland here to win the ball game. Jordan?
I do too. I hate to say it because I was really high on the Ravens coming into this. The only thing you can say for the Ravens is they just came off a good win, and this is must-win time for the Ravens. They need this one. They're basically out of the playoffs if they don't win this one. Give me I think the Browns are hitting their stride. They're a more talented team, but this could go either way. I don't think I'd bet it. If I did, I would bet Cleveland.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got a good ball game tonight. We miss Gorilla George. I mean, it's not the same not having our Cowboy fans on here, right? I mean, we gotta have the Cowboy fan here, right? I mean, he's somewhere, maybe on a suicide hotline, maybe drinking way too much, maybe doing some things he shouldn't be doing to deal with the depression, the anxiety, the hopelessness of being a Dallas Cowboy fan. So I'm sorry, Cowboy fans. I mean, I'm going to end the show talking about the Cowboys. And the reason I'm going to do that is because you need to rebuild. Your whole entire franchise needs to start over now. Take a look at the Miami Dolphins, what they did. Now, I know you think that your brand and you guys are the shit and you're the best thing ever. And you can't just tank the rest of the way to get a draft pick and get rid of all your superstars. But it's exactly what you need to do. You need to rebuild Dallas. Your building and what you have done has not worked.
What they needed to do was sell at the deadline, and they didn't. They had to sell at the deadline. They didn't do that. So now we got to wait till the offseason, see what moves they make. I should hope that coach is gone. They have a long history of giving coaches a lot of chance, and that coach is going to make the argument going, oh, well, no preseason, no training camp. Dak got injured. I deserve another year. And I can see Jerry giving him another year, but I really hope he doesn't. There's a lot of talent on that team. The right coach and the right pieces, they could do what the Cleveland Browns did this year. Cleveland Browns had bad coaching last year with a lot of talent on the team, and it was going nowhere. Look where they are now.
Well, you know what? You know who had a new offensive coordinator and and a new scheme was the New York Giants from Jason Garrett. And I think, and you just got to ask yourself right now: what are the Dallas Cowboys with Jason Garrett this year? I guarantee you they're better than what they are right now. And I think Garrett fell on the damn sword for what the GM put together. Now, Garrett is not a great coach, in my opinion. And okay, you can think whatever you want about that. But you have to start over. Look at what the Miami Dolphins have done. The Dolphins are 8-4. The Dolphins took a whole year. The Dolphins just gave every NFL team that is mediocre the damn blueprint to turn your franchise around. And what you do is you don't tank. You take a whole season and you treat it as preseason, and you find a whole bunch of young, hungry players that want to be in the NFL. Jordan, you remember last year, I would call Jordan up and he's going, I'm like, who is that playing safety? And he's like, I don't know. I have no idea. It's a guy from the practice squad. I was like, Jordan, who is that? That's the running back. I have no idea. It's a guy from the practice squad. I was like, Jordan, who's the defensive tackle? Right? Every week they were rolling in new players, and they found 5 or 6 absolute diamonds in the rough. Eric Rowe. And they added a few free agents to it, and it worked. And it's working. If they're
I think a lot of that is coaching, though, because I think the Dolphins, in my opinion, still, and we'll never know, had a pretty good team when they decided to tear it down. They just had a horrible coach. I mean, if you look at all the players who have left that, who have done really well at other places, like Tannehill, they didn't think Tannehill was a franchise quarterback. He proved that he was. And they did tear it down, and Flo is building the team that he wants, which is an exciting thing. And he's doing a great job. But I think they were pretty close, in my opinion, to being very relevant when they decided to tear it down, which is the same thing I kind of think about the Cowboys. The right coach could take that roster and not have to tear it down.
Hey, Zach Lane, Luke is still going to be coming on our show, bro. Yeah, but you're right, though. He's running away a little bit. Luke was stuck in Africa because of COVID, because of things that were happening there. He was on vacation seeing his family. So, but no, he's back, but he's going to be joining us. But yeah, you're right, though, Zach. Where are the Cowboy fans? Where's the Cowboy fans on the show? They've all run away. You got 2 Dolphin fans left that are carrying their damn water at this point.
Right? We need to edit together a nice little collage from the beginning of the year of all the times they said Cowboys Super Bowl, done deal, this and that, in the year with that.
Yeah, but George will be back. Luke's going to be back. But it's hard, guys. It's hard when your team sucks that bad to get them to be on, right? And so, but they'll be back on. In all seriousness, though, they're both going to be on the show still. So, yeah. So, but I to Zach's point, is a little bit coincidental that the Cowboys lost again and they're not here today, Jordan. That's all I can say. Hopefully, they're going to watch this show. Now, I'm gonna make sure that they see it. So
good.
All right, Jordan, take us home, Jordan. Get us out of here.
Thank you all. Getting ready for this week. Really excited about it. Go to UWager, check it out. Bet some of these games. Home of the free same day payout, so you can get in, bet your game, get out the next day, cash in your hand in time to double up on your gifts for the holidays. Right?
Yeah. So all the lines are brought to us by UWager, and we appreciate that. See ya. Like, share. Talk to you later.
Later.